People with daddy issues are expected to get in line because, boy, we're going for a ride. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my series where I talk about the things I have a problem with. Of course, let's keep it to League because my personal and life problems are not something that you particularly care of, and I respect that. But today we're going to be talking about KASSADIN, which is a really good champion. Really good champion. Really effing broken champion. I've seen a video talking about the KASSADIN, which is like the most broken champion in League of Legends. And I was like, nah, no, there are so many champions that are more broken than him. You know, have you seen Veigar? Like, his R? Who thought about that? Have you seen Pyke? Support my ass, huh? But yeah, KASSADIN is broken AF. Every time that I can see enemy KASSADIN, I'm shaking in fear. I'm basically super scared when I see him because it's just a mess. Our mid lane cannot hold the lane when there's an enemy KASSADIN because his R is so broken compared to every other dashing ability in the game. His damage is also so effing broken. Like, have you seen it? And I've seen a video talking about how broken he is, and he was actually broken when he came out, and he still is, which is a problem that is not going to be fixed probably in years, or maybe never. We never knew. But what I can see in his champion, in this champion, I can smell a lot of problems. And it's not about, this channel is not meant to be talking about the gameplay. I might say a lot of things about this because I play League of Legends and I hold my own frustration over the game, which I'm going to express. Bear with me, please. But it's not like I'm going to be talking about the stats and trying to prove you that he's broken. We just say that he's broken and move on, okay? Okay, cool. What I really want to talk about is something that I found on Reddit, on one of the threads, that, you know, in Lucian and Senna's story, and please don't comment me, I effing love them. And I think that this is the best ship, the best couple in League of Legends. I know you have your own opinions, okay? Don't scream at me, please don't click off. I know, okay? We're fine, we're cool? Okay, good. In my opinion, okay? Let me repeat that. In my opinion, it's the best couple in League of Legends because of how mature they are.
Try to keep up.
Try to be less beautiful.
I can turn into a screaming cloud.
Right. I'll keep up.
But when Senna was released, Lucian got a lot of things. He got this film, this video that I love about him fighting Thresh, how he actually released Senna from the Lantern. And I love this to death. But on this Reddit thread, a lot of people were like, okay, so when Senna gets released from Lantern, Lucian gets a lot of things. He gets a video and he gets a voice update so he can actually talk with his wife. When Kai'Sa was released, nothing happened. And people have a problem with this. And I really never thought about that, but after I saw that, I was like, well, yeah, that's a good point. It's a pair champions that have a lot of interactions. They're supposed to have a lot of interactions. They are daughter and father, so, and especially if we think about the KASSADIN story, how he basically sacrificed his life to fight the Void. And then we can hear in Swain's voice interactions, or basically interactions, that KASSADIN is probably aware that Kai'Sa is still alive. She escaped the Void, but he never mentions her. And that's a problem that I can see not only in KASSADIN, but in League at all, that Riot releases a new champion that is somehow connected to the older champion, but they have no interaction at all. And it doesn't make any sense, because when we have an interaction, like, you know, they knew each other because they were like colleagues, they knew each other because they were friends, you can like play with the fact that, you know, they knew each other but now they don't, it's been a lot of time and blah 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 blah. I know that the whole Lucian story was about how he cannot get over the fact that Senna basically sacrificed herself for him, and he wanted to release her so she gets back to him. And I know that it was a huge part of Lucian's story, while in Kassadin's story it was just quickly mentioned that he met a girl, like, you know, a woman. He formed a family and they had a child, but we get no interaction at all. It's something that really bugs me in League, okay? And that is that there's little to no interaction between characters in the game. Because there's like always when there's a new skin that is more than epic, or maybe even an epic, but you know, it gets something more than an epic should get, or basically a legendary. There's a voice pack, a voiceover to this legendary that makes this champion interact with other champions as well. But what bugs me is that the other champion, I don't know if you get this, but let's say Jin got a legendary skin, a dark cosmic Jin, and he talks something to Thresh. Like, I won't even try to imitate what he said to him, but he says something to Thresh and Thresh doesn't respond. And it's like one way all the time. And the problem is even more like visible. You can see it when we're talking about a legendary skin, let's call it that, talks with an old champion who has little to no voice lines at all. And not only they do not talk to each other, even in his like voice lines, the basic voice lines that all the champions get, he has no voice line to actually respond to this. And in some way you would like your champion that is getting taunted, for example, to respond. That's why me and Fandom Girl and RPG Maniac, I know that League of Legends is not an RPG game, but the lack of interaction in the game hurts me, really, because I can see a great potential. Let's say even with Kassadin and Kai'Sa, she mentions him, she acknowledges him and is even suspicious, like it might be my father.
It smells like home here. Father? Have we met? You seem familiar. Something is off here.
And he never really mentions her, he just lives his life like nothing happened, and there's a lot of things that happened. And I would really love to see if Riot makes something like this, like there would be more interactions in the game where people talk to each other, okay? When Xayah and Rakan was released, and I know that they were released at the same time, so it was much easier to do. They are kind of talk to each other. And that's the same thing is for Senna and Lucian, but you know, Lucian got a voice update that when Senna was released, so they could actually do it. But why didn't they do it when Kai'Sa was released? Why didn't you take this opportunity to take Kassadin and just update him? Update his voice lines, update something like in his gameplay so he's not that broken as he is, because let's be honest, he is broken. And he is broken in much more, in more than one way. So I really think that it is important because, as I mentioned, when the champions, two champions were friends, it's easy to like go over it. It's easy to like be like, you know, oh, they were just friends. They used to know each other. Now their lives has changed and they're just in a different headspaces. Okay, like I buy it. It's lazy, but I buy it. But it was a family once. He is her father and he probably wants to know how the hell did she survive in the void in a way that in the shape that she is, because she's pretty cool. I mean, I like her a lot, and you can see that she's in a pretty good shape. As a mother, I would like to know, hey kid, you are my child, what the hell happened and how did you survive? Because, you know, the void was so powerful, it could basically like evaporate the whole life on Runeterra. So I really do think like it should be explained a little more. And I know that Riot likes to do it, like, you know, when they release something new, like a skin or a voiceover or something like this, they like to explain the world a little bit. So I really do think that it's a good time to look into KASSADIN, because a lot of mid laners are struggling against him. So I really do think that it's a good opportunity to just look into him, to see what can be changed without damaging the champion. Because yeah, I'm against, like, you know, getting rid of everything that made this champion the champion that we know. But it's worth, in my opinion, looking into it and seeing if something can be updated, can be improved, because I can see a great potential in the universe of League of Legends. And you know, I really do think that family is the most important thing. So when I realized that yeah, people on Reddit are right, while Lucian gets a voiceover and KASSADIN don't, maybe he's not that popular, I don't know, who am I to judge? But I really want to know what you guys think about it. As always, I'm waiting for you down in the comments below, because I'm really like interested in how you see it. And do you see any more champions that should have interactions with each other but they don't, and they should? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.